Morning guys, Tuesday the 7th of July. I was just thinking then for a minute about what I wanted to share or reflect on, and I wasn't quite sure actually. And then that got me thinking, where does our source of inspiration come from? So for example, just as I was walking across the stones to get across the little stream, I was then thinking, oh, stepping stones. So that was a source of inspiration in the sense that it made me think of something else rather than just I'm walking across the stream. Other sources of inspiration. So I'm walking along now and come across this bark. In fact, it's actually I'm looking at it, it's like a massive part of a big old tree that's obviously been here at some point and then come down. And also a couple of questions came to mind. I wonder how long it was here beforehand, wonder what brought it down, whether it was brought down or it came down naturally. Wonder how many stories it has to tell about people that have walked past here and that it's heard like talking or sharing. Then I was noticing the traffic noise just in the background. Can't see, it's like the other side of the dual carriageway. I'm thinking it's interesting, you can hear it in the background, but it doesn't have to impose. It's almost like that sense of knowing there's some background noise, but being able to filter it out almost, just ignore it and focus, concentrate on your own inner mind, your own sort of thought process. And also, as I'm walking along, although I can still hear that traffic in the background a bit, I'm also conscious of hearing the birds. And I've mentioned the birds before. The birds actually then enable me to become focused and a bit more centred. And I'm looking at these, a lot of wild, they're probably weeds. I'm just looking at the nature of the shapes, the patterns, the way they're connected, lots and lots of tiny little pieces all connected together to create a whole. And I've been thinking about us. Morning. Taking our little video. Hello. There's nothing in there. Well. Come on, Will. Will, there's not. Will, come here. There's nothing in there. Come on. Yeah, so I was just thinking about those little pieces that make the whole, and it's a bit like, you know, whether it be like, for example, on my co-coaching forum yesterday, although I'm facilitating it, without all the other individuals coming on the call, there would be there wouldn't really be a whole, you know, as in the whole piece and all the parts. So it's never just one piece, it's all the pieces, all the parts that make that a whole piece stronger. You know, the phrase that comes to mind, no man's an island. So it's what's all the pieces that connect us and enable us to be stronger and more effective together. Ooh. And then here's that, I think I've shown you that once before, this piece. We're talking about inspiration. It has many different components. Can look like almost like the devil, can look like a deer's face that's sort of, well, a little bit chipped away and worn now. If you look at it from this side, it looks a little bit more like could almost be an antelope, but like a little creature of sorts. So again, you could create lots of stories around that particular piece of what you see. Where does it come from? How long's it been there for? And then you have this little bridge, almost. I say almost because it's really just like a bit of a platform from one side of the path to another. Not like a bridge over water as such. But it's just, you know, quite nice, breaks up the scenery a little bit. Plus I imagine it's also protecting all the other stuff on the other side. So a bridge that helps you to pass over to something else, but also protects something at the same time. I'm thinking about inspiration as well. Well, I was thinking about when I was on call yesterday, we were sort of presenting some of our ideas and thoughts. Get some practice in, particularly looking at, you know, using technology, Zoom and Mentimeter and various other things. And one of the other tutors that was sharing their ideas was looking at digital art and how if you mix and create completely different ideas, you get completely different pictures. So there was a picture, for example, of a massive beef burger superimposed on an image of it looked like some sort of Aboriginals in a tribe in another land somewhere, and the beef burger was superimposed right in the middle of them. And it was really interesting actually, because the idea was, well, if it was just a picture of the Aboriginals by themselves, we'd have a different idea. But with that and the beef burger, it made me think of westernised people bringing in their ideas, but not necessarily being right for others, or it takes over. So it creates a whole different meaning, a whole different story. Morning. Leave the berries. Come on, Will. I think there's some things you can create and take meaning from, which are about your way of life, your way of living, your relationships and so on. And then there's other things that can create meaning around using your creativity, your imagination, how you use that. But also then leave the berries well, also taking ideas from that. To transfer your imagination, your skills onto something else. And right now Will's fixated on his berries. So, you're right Mitch today, didn't you, Will? And then there you've got, I just struck them by the dead amongst the living. Or could it be the living amongst the dead? That's an interesting idea. Reminding me of the quote I was thinking of the other day, are you living to die or are you dying to live? You know, the idea of how awake are you really, even when you know you're awake physically. It's like, how awake are you really? Or do you sleepwalk through your day? And like the lockdown for some people was I think, you know, certainly became a bit of a wake-up call. But as we were saying the other day on the live with Natasha and Rosie, you can very quickly, you know, become a little bit more unconscious again, fall back to sleep, forget what you've reflected on and what you took from, you know, a particular challenging time, and also to put into practice what you may have said that was important to you, that you actually really took from it and wanted to continue. So yeah, this was all about, you know, the concept of, wasn't quite sure what I was going to share when I first sort of put the video on, but actually it's become about where can you source imagination and creativity, and how that can enable you to feel inspired for things you may be doing in your life, or you may want to do. Create some art, collage, reflective writing, creative writing around stories. And then just over there you've got like at the moment, 'cause it's quite early, it's a empty a skateboard park. There's nobody there, so suddenly you could just stand there and go, what happened? Where did they all go? Did they get taken by aliens? Did they just suddenly disappear out the blue? Are they really there but they're invisible, they've got powers? I've not long finished watching Stranger Things on Netflix, so probably helping to source the creativity around that piece, certainly. And also wonder how many stories young people have here about what this place means to them, the times and the hours that they come and practice and be together and connect together in lots of different ways. So, well, on that note, we're going to love you and leave you, but continue to be open to finding sources of inspiration for yourself today. And it may be that you need to look in a different place. You need to get a little bit more creative and curious about where you're finding your inspiration and your creativity. So have a great, tasty, thoughtful Tuesday, and I shall speak to you later, guys. Bye.